Alright, so we establish the identity cotan theta minus tan theta divided by cotan theta plus tan theta is cosine 2 theta. Generally we start with our side that looks like there's more to work with. That's going to be our left hand side. What I want you to do, so ask yourself, did you do this? Rewrite the side that you start with before you do anything to it. Alright, we want to do this the right way. So I rewrite the side I start with and then say what that equal to. Okay, so again, you might not have any idea where this is going. You might not be able to picture the steps in your head how to get there, and that's okay. A lot of times you can't. But we do something that we usually do. In this case, what's something we've done before? We've changed. Go ahead. That's right. Change all your cotangents and tangents to sine and cosine, because you can at least see that you want a cosine at some point. Okay, so that's at least a bit of a hint. So we know that the cotangent is cosine theta divided by sine theta. We know that the tangent is sine theta divided by cosine theta. And the bottom looks exactly the same, only there's a plus. Cosine theta, sine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta. Okay. At this point you have two options. We have a complex fraction. We've seen this a lot. You can either add the two fractions together, that is you could add these guys together by finding an LCD. You can add these guys together and then multiply by reciprocal. That's not the way I usually do it. I usually multiply the top and bottom by the LCD, which is sine theta cosine theta. You end up, it's the same thing really. Multiply by sine theta cosine theta. Okay? So don't forget to distribute. I got to take that product, sine theta cosine theta, multiply it by that fraction. And then I got to take that and multiply it by that fraction. And then on the bottom I got to take that product, multiply it by that fraction, and by that again. So let's see what we get when we do that. Okay, we still may not be sure that we get cosine 2 theta, but that's okay. Just see what happens. This is the typical way we handle something like this. So what is sine theta cosine theta times this first fraction here? Cosine, the signs go away, right? So it just leaves you with cosine times cosine, cosine squared. What's sine cosine times this fraction right here? Sine squared. Minus sine squared, right? And on the bottom, the same thing happens, only there's a plus in between. Okay? Questions? This is good. What's the denominator equal to? 1. So that whole thing is equal to cosine squared minus sine squared. And here's the part that might not be so recognizable, but what's cosine squared minus sine squared equal to? Cosine 2 theta, thus completing the proof.